What is going on, everybody? Skyline Aikens, Southwest Missouri, here with you as we are just under an hour away before kickoff on this Thursday night, where the Miller Cardinals are taking on a unfamiliar foe from Burlington, Kansas, as the Wildcats make the 3-hour trek here to play against the Cardinals here on a Thursday night. I'm Skyline Aikens here with you. We'll be with you all night long through a post-game show. But the Miller Cardinals are coming in 0-2 following a 48-20 loss against the Stockton Tigers in a Southwest Conference matchup. In a game where they got out quick after a 49-yard touchdown pass from Nate Hill to Jared Long, got them the lead after the opening quarter. But then Stockton's run game proved to be too much for the Cardinals, where 400 total yards on the ground proved to be the difference for the Tigers. In the state of Kansas, they got started a week later. Last week was their first game of the season, as they fell at the Santa Fe Trail 14-0 in a game where we'll get into it with coach's interview, but they feel like they saw some good things, saw some things that they can work on. So both teams here looking for their first win of the season. Before we get to that interview, let's take a look at our results from a week ago, starting right here in Miller. As I said before, 48-20, the Stockton Tigers was victorious. Elsewhere, Ash Grove, who found themselves in the top 10 in Class 1, defeated El Dorado Springs 14-6. Marionville was in a dogfight with the Forsyth Panthers, 28-22, but the Comets emerged victorious. The Sircoxie Bears was in another tight one with the Hollister Tigers, 22-18. Pierce City, maybe the surprise of the first couple of weeks here in the Southwest Conference, 56-0 over the Diamond Wildcats. The Diamond Wildcats that our Miller Cardinals will be seeing here will be at Diamond next Thursday night. We'll talk a little bit more about that game a little bit later on tonight. And then Skyline defeated Buffalo 21-14 to get their first victory as a member of the Southwest Conference. Let's take a look at the standings. Marionville on top, 2-0, tied along with the Ash Grove Pirates and the Sircoxie Bears, 2-0, 1-0 in conference. Pierce City and Stockton are also right there, 1-1. Pierce City has the edge, as they are also 1-0 in conference. Skyline and Miller up next, 1-1 are the Skyline Tigers. Miller 0-2 with a one conference loss, and the Diamond Wildcats 0-2 with two conference losses. They are down at the bottom. Taking a look at our game of the week's results from a week from last week. We already talked about the game here. Elsewhere in Joplin, the Eagles was victorious over the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. In Joplin, and the Yellow Jackets, getting a bit of a rude awakening as they are joining the new COC after the OC fell. They moved to 0-2. Mount Vernon fell. I actually had that score reversed. Mount Vernon fell to Seneca 35-14 in a game that kind of got away from the Mountaineers late. In Nixa, 55-21, the Eagles were victorious over the number 2 Webb City Cardinals. In Reed Spring, the Marshfield Blue Jays defeated the Wolves in the battle of the former Big 8 foes. Stratford took care of Monette 69-14, and kind of a result that was kind of surprising to me, just because in the first couple weeks of the Ben Mock era at Monette was expecting maybe a few more points to be put up. However, they are sit at 0-2. In Aurora, that's the last one we haven't talked about. The Nevada Tigers took care of the Aurora Hound Dogs 21-7. So without further ado, every week we're trying to catch up with both of the coaches ahead of the week to talk about the game. So we're going to kick it off down to Coach Derek Hill and Coach Chris Carlson of the Burlington Wildcats. See what their thoughts are on this week's game. We are here now with the coach of the Miller Cardinals, Derek Hill, ahead of this Thursday night matchup with the Burlington Wildcats. First off, Coach, thanks for taking a little bit of time after practice to chit chat.
Yeah.
So, Coach, well, starting off, going back to last week, started off fast, got the 49-yard touchdown to Jared Long. You know, they're really quick, really on that first possession. Saw some really good things. Just kind of, what did you take out of last Friday's game?
You know, there's learning lessons in life as players. There's always learning lessons in coaches. You know, we have a lot of athletes, and I think it shows at times. And when we have those big bursts, it shows the athleticism. When we do, we have to learn to be able to change and adapt when people try to stop your athletes, and that's what a lot of teams do. They know going in, we've got 4 or 5 guys that can go long distance at any play, and we've got to do a better job of adapting. And I think that's our, what we want to take from that is you're gonna have to, people are gonna stop your first and second blow, and then you got to be ready for 3, 4, and 5, to try to adapt to. And I think that's on the offensive side. And then on the defensive side, Stockton did a really, really good job of running the football. They do it right. They do it well, and they have some big dogs that can make life a lot easier. And I think it taught us a little bit about, we have to be more fundamentally sound instead of trying to stand up, use our speed and maybe our brute strength.
Yeah.
We got to be better football players out of it. So we took it. Nobody wants to get the butt whooped like that. But if you can take something out of it to further you the next day, then you're going to be all right.
Well, Nate had a solid day, 3 touchdown passes, which I believe is a career high.
I think so.
He was started looking more comfortable throwing the ball downfield. Just kind of talk about his day and kind of what you saw out of that offense.
I think the biggest thing we wanted from week 1 to week 2 is to seed the field and get rid of the football a lot quicker, and he did that. I thought he had his eyes up, and there were some things to where we had to, Stockton was giving us to where we had to move, but he got the football to try to give our athletes a chance to go get the football, and that's what you got to be. Is your receivers do all the work, and you just put it in a spot where they can shine, and I thought he did that, and that's that's what we want, and then we need that that progression from when teams start to give us something that takes that away. You gotta trust the next opportunity.
Yeah, and speaking of guys getting rolling, Dempster after kind of a quiet week 1 came out 53 yards is kind of what I very unofficially had him statted out at. And just kind of talk about what you saw from him.
Owen's got a lot of ability of his size and strength and speed that it's tough to bring down. And we have to get him the football where it's hurt us week 1 or even in the first half. You got to have the football long enough to where you can get that to him. And then, but when we found a niche in the third quarter, he did. He's got a lot of ability, and he runs with authority. And he's something that has to have the football a lot to make us successful, which opens up a lot of other things for us.
So this week you got Burlington, team out of Kansas. Just what have you seen out of them on tape so far?
That's they have a lot of speed. They don't have the size of say Stockton or let alone Clever, but they have a quarterback and a running back / just athlete that can scoot. I mean he runs a 10-9 100. So they want to get him the football, and if they're not doing that, they're trying to run the quarterback up the gut, to outside left, outside right. But they're a team that just plays really, really fast. And offense, defense, whatever it is, they are flying. And we hope our plan is to hope to exploit some of that, that flyingness on the football field. But they're a good football team, so it's gonna be. There's no rest for the weary, and we've got to be ready to go.
Yeah, Brody's been, from what I've seen, has been just an explosive athlete, and is definitely a game-breaking type of guy. I mean, what do you have up the sleeve to, maybe try to stop him up or stop him a little bit?
I think it's be fundamental. Get in your spot, be aligned, but then just fly, do what they do, but under control. And we've got some guys, and it's just kind of, I think I think because we have a lot of speed on our front, and we've kind of held them back, and now I think that's hindered us a little bit. And so now it's our plan is to just let them go, just play football, play like your God-given ability, and just get after it. And we feel like we can contain that with some of the changes systematically we've done to help contain that speed a little bit.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of just weirdness about this week's game. Playing a team that you haven't seen before. Playing on a Thursday night. Just kind of talk about how hard is it to kind of know what to expect when first off you have a team come that's crossing state borders.
Yeah.
Don't know a whole lot about them beforehand. It was a late add onto the schedule. Just how hard has it been to just kind of know what to expect coming into Thursday?
It's been different because you got to change your whole schedule. You got everything's got to happen way faster. Starting on Sunday afternoon, and then everything. You have a JV game on a Monday, and that's your normal heavy practice, and so it's been a challenge. But we would have never put it on there if we didn't think our kids were capable.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff's done a great job of getting. We started scouting them and getting everything prepared as much as we can. The Google and all that is a man's best friend when you don't know who they are. And so they've done a good job of seeing what's out there, what are they going to bring to the table. But we gotta learn from us, no matter who's across the line. It could be Stockton again, it could be Clever again, or it's this team. If we correct the mistakes we've had for the last 2 weeks, we will be fine, no matter who it is. We just have to correct ourselves. And these kids are, they're hungry to have that success. And so we've had a good week, and we feel like they're ready to roll.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end on the same question as we ended last week on. Every team's goal is to be 1-0 every week. What's the keys to to end up 1-0 this week?
The key is to make some big plays. We have to control the football longer. We haven't been able to have that that time of possession. We have to control the football, but we got to hit the big play when it happens. There's going to be big plays that present themselves, and we've got to capitalize on it. And that means offense. That means defense. We have to take that, and I think these guys, they're bound. It's bound to happen. I think they're ready for it this week.
Well, Coach Hill, thank you. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your Wednesday night of preparation. But we're getting close to kickoff, about 10-15 minutes, right here in Miller on Friday Night Lights on a Thursday.
Silent Akins here, joined with the coach of the Burlington Wildcats, Coach Cody Carlson. First off, thanks for joining us here about 9 o'clock here, day before the game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, well, Coach, let's just start with how this first part of the season, Kansas just getting underway this last week, coming off of a tough loss against what looked like to be a pretty solid Santa Fe Trail team. Just what did you take out of take away from week one, and what did you see from the guys?
Yeah, we knew going into this season, lost a big senior class, to just saying, all right, hey, we're gonna have to take some lumps with not only some sophomores playing new positions, but also just some juniors and seniors that hadn't played on a Friday night before, to go, hey, we're okay making mistakes as long as we go 1,000 miles an hour. And we did that. I thought last week against solid Santa Fe Trail team, like you said, we played well for probably about 65-70% of that game, but our big mistakes really hurt us.
Right.
To where I always believe that to be a good team, you have to take a huge jump from week 1 to week 2. And we've seen that in practice this week of, all right, hey, now that you know the speed of a Friday night, like we're not practicing in that speed, but you can't tell those kids that until they see it themselves and go, all right, now that you know what a Friday night looks like, our practice tempo has to improve. And then they know what to expect. All the butterflies are kind of gone, to where we're basically where I thought we would be. Do you want to be 1-0 after week 1? Absolutely. But there was no kid that was like, oh my God, he cannot play. Like, what were we thinking? Everybody that we thought could play is in the right spot. We just got to get them better. We just got to be better coaches and get them to be where they need to be.
Well, you talked about playing at 1,000 miles an hour, and you got a kid that on tape absolutely looks like he's running 1,000 miles an hour. And Brody Anderson, just kind of talk about him and kind of what he brings to your offense.
Yeah, he's a special talent, just athletically. He's a 10.8 kid on the 100. Could have had a really special junior year track wise, but to qualify for regionals, he pulled his quad pretty bad.
Oh,
where like he qualified to state and made it, but wasn't able. Like he hurt himself that bad to make it, and wasn't able to run at state for the second year in a row. And that's kind of been his biggest MO is like he just has the worst luck as far as injuries. Last year, he had 5 touchdowns in the first half against Girard in our district game. In the first half, we give him the ball on counter the first play of the second half, and he breaks his ankle. Like, we thought it was a high ankle sprain. We kept him out for a week, took him to front neck, was like, all right, hey, you're our deep threat still. And he hobbled out there on what we thought was a high ankle sprain that never got any better. Go back to x-rays, and it's like, dude, your ankle is broken. Like he's tough as nails and like is a huge part of our offense offensively. Just like, can we keep him healthy?
Yeah.
Can we keep him healthy? So, but the dude is extremely dangerous when he has the ball in his hand. So it's not hard to see that like that's our game plan. It's like get that dude the ball in space as many times as possible.
Yeah, that's a wild story. No, definitely, that's that kind of speed we don't see a whole lot, around these parts. So, me from
you're number 3 and number 4. They're pretty dang good athletes too.
Yeah, absolutely. Jared Long has multi-sport athlete and has been a solid piece as well. But I'm telling you, the speed that we see on tape is I'm excited to see it. It's a little different. But you kind of hit on some of the that injury.
Yeah, we're sitting there going, all right, hey, we got to.
Yeah, so you kind of hit on that injury bug that you were talking about. Started off the season 6-4, but I think you said 8 injuries in the first half of the season. Just kind of how are those guys responding after just coming back onto the field?
That was kind of my biggest, I guess, goal, because I'm also the weights coach. To like Burlington had always, their MO had been like super talented, just not very injury prone. And it's like when you have both of those, how do you kind of split what's a true injury versus what's like, hey, right. I got a thing. And so like we did a lot of, just not to go into all those details, but like that was just our main focus all summer, was to get you a little bit more body armor and not like go super heavy, but like isometrics and eccentrics and just stuff that kind of build those tendons. And I thought we did a really good job to where like we didn't have any rolled ankles anymore. We ended up having completely torn knee, broken kneecap, broken ankle again. Like just not like, oh, well, you'll be back in a couple of weeks. Like, dude, your season's over type of deal. And we had in those first 2 weeks, we had 8 of those, and it was just like between 8 starters, not like playing both ways, like 8 true dudes that played for us. And it was just like, all right, next man up, let's figure this out. And it helped us a ton depth-wise to where a lot of those kids wouldn't have played last year. Going, you're stuck behind a senior that's a 3-year starter going, what am I going to do? Well, he just broke his ankle, so get in there, and we'll figure this thing out. This year, knock on wood, we didn't have that week 1. We didn't have that big injury. So hopefully, after a year of doing the whole program instead of just like a summer, we're getting there. But the main thing, our kids are getting tougher. And that's the hardest thing, is like you see in youth sports, like,
yeah, how
do you make a teenager tougher?
Absolutely.
Like, you can read all those books and it's like, well, you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to do this. Like, was that kid already tough already? Or like, so it's been the battle. And I got a really good coaching staff this year to go, all right, hey, like from all of our experiences, like what can we do? So we started doing this past summer, we made like platoon squads of like, hey, seniors, you draft your kids. And we just did competitions every day. Like we do our lifting, but instead of doing our running of like, all right, hey, you're doing your 10-yard flies, we actually made it all competition based of just let's try and find a way to win. And we haven't gotten there yet, but like we are a step closer than what we used to be. So
Yeah. So, obviously being an out-of-state team, I was talking with the coach of Miller a little bit earlier, and it almost seems like once you cross that state line, all familiarity and just you just have no idea what to expect.
Right.
So from watching some tape, obviously we saw the speed from Brody, and I saw you like to do a lot of 4-3 on the defensive side. But just kind of what else can we expect out of your squad?
Offensively, we just try and find our best matchup is kind of what we're looking for. Is we have some athletes, whether it's playing Miller or playing just our regular season schedule, like there are some kids on the field that's like, all right, hey, we can take advantage of your athleticism. So we try and be a little bit multiple in that, but yet also like our identity is trying to have some physicality in there, being an old former offensive lineman, like, hey, we still got to be able to punch somebody in the mouth at some point.
Absolutely.
The nice thing is, the crazy part is our high school has never crossed state line to go play anybody in any sport.
Wow.
Ever. So this is the first time. And I hope we travel well. I mean, it's 3 hours is nothing. I used to coach in Western Kansas where going from Great Bend to Liberal is 3.5 hour trip on its own. And they're in our conference. Like that's just part of it. So this bus trip I'm kind of looking forward to. I already got my Netflix downloaded. Like I'm just going to chill on my iPad. And our kids are like, what do you do? I'm like, you sleep, you watch a movie, and then we'll stop about an hour before we get there. And it's focus time. Like,
yep,
it's not that hard, but it is different for our kids. The familiarity is, though, I was the head coach at Clinton 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Like kind of knowing some of these schools, like you guys played Stockton last week. And I'm like, instead of like my assistant, like, who the hell is this? It's like, well, I know them. Like, I couldn't give you a full scouting report, but like, yeah, they're a solid program. Like, so now is the only way that we actually got connected was our adrenaline fundraiser rep. When I was in Clinton that I used, he called me after he saw my tweet and was like, hey, you still looking for a game? Because we also like work with Miller, Missouri, and they've been looking for a game for a while. So it's like, hey, here's your fun line of life lessons. Like, don't be an asshole. And like, people will actually reach out when you have a need at some point. So that was the cool part about it. But back to your original question, like offensively, just trying to not over motion people, but also like give our quarterback a lot of pre-snap reads through motion. And just, I've always had the philosophy, like, I'm not trying to outsmart the other coach. I'm trying to outsmart your 15 to 18-year-old kids that have to do what you taught them all week. And that's kind of like our offensive philosophy is like, it's not a bunch of gadgets. It's more of like, hey, how much did you really pay attention to formation rec when they went through motions? Like, are you supposed to shift down there? Type of deal. So, and then defensively, we just stick in our 4-3. It's very based off of just, you do this, we're in this. If you're going to line up in this is what we're in, and just coach the heck out of them. So it's like completely different than our offensive philosophy. Right. Very simple defensively, try and make it as complex as possible offensively. The KU OC from last year that went to Penn State, did you see that little?
Yeah.
Your offense be like a blizzard. Like,
yep. I did see that actually.
Super complex, but really it's just vanilla ice cream and your favorite candy. Like,
yeah,
my favorite candy is Trap, and like, we're just trying to run it a bunch of different ways, type of deal. So,
oh, I love it. All right, so that was really interesting. A few things that you said. Obviously, being the first team from the school to ever cross state lines. And, obviously the Clinton connection is really cool. Obviously people, down here in Miller will obviously appreciate a connection like that as well. But, kind of moving on to, this week, just, you've already mentioned Owen Weiss at number 4 and Jared Long, a couple of wideouts there. But, just kind of what else have you seen from Miller on tape?
Just their athleticism. I know it's funny. Like you were like, well, you guys are so athletic. Like I'm sitting there going, this is our twin and from Missouri. Like,
yeah,
we kind of have the same issues. Like, dude, you just did this correct last play and then doing the exact same thing and you just don't do it. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, man, I finally know what it feels like to watch our tape as an opponent. Like, what? Like, you could be so like, we turned it on the first time and I thought they beat the hell out of Stockton. And then I finally looked at the score and I was like, wait, I thought that would have been reversed. And it's like, there's a ton of respect for you guys. Like, very dangerous team. Obviously 0-2 back against the wall a little bit. You got some team from Kansas. Like, who the hell cares? Let's go hungry for a win.
Right.
And that's what I've been preaching to our kids all week. Like, hey, this is not, they don't even understand like classifications to where like Missouri's one step ahead of us size wise. So I'm like, all right, hey, this would be like a big 2A school and we're a small 3A school. And they're like, well, it's class 1. I'm like, yes, but they also have a class 6 that we don't even like. Kansas doesn't even have.
Right.
Everybody that's 6A in Kansas would be a class 5 school. Like, you guys don't understand that part. So just extremely dangerous. Number 22. I haven't looked at names because we didn't exchange rosters type of deal, but
Owen Dempster, running back and
defensively, a defensive tackle that just like stands out automatically when you flip the tape on. Like, dude, we got one of those too with Braden Riggs, number 53, going to the same guy. Like, just no matter what the play is, no matter what you do, like, he's going to be around the ball at some point because he plays so dang hard.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because when I was going back through and watching some of your tape, I was kind of thinking the same thing. And actually, Owen Owen and Braden was kind of this, it was kind of the same two that stuck out to me. Like, these are carbon copies of each other. So obviously it's gonna be a lot of fun. You talked about that the Stockton game and they came out hot and was able to hit a couple of deep ones and then just the size of Stockton kind of caught up to us and then end up getting real ugly real quick. But
other than, did you guys notice like during the game plays 130 to 134, Stockton scored with 12 people on the field. They played 5 plays in a row in an illegal formation with 12 dudes.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at my broadcast.
130 to 134.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back.
They have a tight end, 2 backs, and a backside wing with twins. And I was like, I pulled my wife over. I'm like, hey, you got to count this for me because like I think I'm crazy. And sure shit,
yeah,
5 plays in a row.
I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that. Wow,
now, that's gonna be our trick tomorrow. I'm gonna try and sneak 12 on the field.
All right. Well, I'll tell you. This interview is not gonna air until about 5 minutes before kickoff. So we're safe there. Just got a couple more questions for you. And we hit on this a little bit already, but there's just a lot of weirdness, in this game. Obviously, crossing state lines, a team you're not familiar with, and you're not even playing on Friday. It's a Thursday night game. Just how difficult has it been kind of preparing for something like this?
Honestly, after how last week ended, our kids were pretty disappointed. Like, obviously they didn't play well, so they were, which was nice. Like, hey, this should hurt. And in years past, there'd been times I was like, you look around, you're like, this means nothing to you. It did. It meant something to them. And it was nice for us to be able to flip the page and go, all right, hey, there is no time to worry about last week. Like, you have a game in 4 days. We have to roll. And that kind of helped us just shift our focus to, all right, hey, we're on to Miller. but yeah, the between the time change, the Thursday, the 3 hour drive that our kids are not used to, like there's definitely a lot of things against us to where we're gonna find out what our kids are made of a little bit here. Of all right, hey, are you really about it, or do you just like talking about it type of deal?
And then final question, it's every coach's goal to go 1-0, every single week. What are some of the keys that you guys are going to have to execute to leave Miller 1-0?
Number one, we cannot beat ourselves. That was the biggest deal from last week is we turned the ball over 4+ times. We gave up 5+ big plays on defense. Those are both goals of ours that are at a very minimum, and we didn't do that, to where we just have to play a better brand of football and not beat ourselves and give us a chance to just beat Miller by ourselves and not help them out. I would like to see our effort improve quite a bit on a more consistent basis, not just, hey, I'm going to feel like playing hard this snap and then take it off, to where our depth is our biggest issue, to where we had to find some freshmen and go, all right, hey, you're not necessarily ready, but we're going to throw you in the fire and you got to give us 2 snaps as hard as you can. And then we'll pull you back out and teach you from there. But just, based off our identity, play hard, be physical, and execute the best we can.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to chat with us ahead of the game tomorrow. That was Coach Carlson of the Burlington Wildcats, who, obviously you see them on the other side of the field warming up right now, but, we're getting close to game time. We're about 5-6 minutes away before kickoff. Stay right here. We'll be right back. And we are back here in Miller, and we just want to say a big thank you to Coach Carlson, and we ended up recording that at about 9 o'clock last night. So big thank you for him for taking a little bit of time to talk with me before the game, and then obviously always great to talk with Coach Derek Hill of the Miller Cardinals. So I want to say thank you to them. I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Our sponsors were brought to you by Clever Barn. Be sure to check out the Clever Barn for your upcoming events of any kind. If you like old barns and rustic themes, the Clever Barn was built in the 1880s. And just wait until you see what Randy and Laura Walden have done out there. Located just a few miles south of Clever on Jasmine Road, they were recently voted the number 3 wedding venue by Southwest Missouri Magazine. And they can't wait to host your event. Give them a call at 417-350-2343. Also, we are brought to you by the Burger Shack. Oh, yeah. Burger Shack is a proud sponsor of the Miller Cardinals and is a taste of game day. Sorry about that. We'll want to say thank you to the Burger Shack. The Burger Shack is a proud sponsor of the Miller Cardinals and is the taste of game day. Tyler Snyder and his crew is guaranteed to bring you the best burgers in Miller, Missouri. They are located right by the high school in the shades of the football stands. Be sure to stop by before our next game for your pregame treat. So we will take it back to our Southwest Conference standings. I know we talked a little bit about it, but Miller currently leads the way at 2-0. Ash Grove right behind them. Sircoxy, all three of them 2-0. Pure City joins them at 1-0 in conference. That's tied for the lead in the conference. Stockton Tigers a half game behind at 1-1. Skyline and Miller 1 game out, and Diamond Wildcats are 2 games out. State polls came out, and a couple of Southwest Conference teams are making appearances in the Class 1 group. Number 1 highlighted by Marionville Comets, followed by St. Vincent, Adrian, Tipton, Marceline, Windsor, Milan, Fanfare. Ash Grove comes in at number 9, and Salisbury. Class 2, we got Lamar, Fairgrove, Bowling Green, Lafayette County, Valley Catholic, Ava Bears, South Shelby, Caruthersville, Warsaw, East Buchanan. And then down the road, about 10 minutes, Mount Vernon, despite a loss last week to number 2 Seneca, sit at number 7. Let's take a look at the scoreboard for this week. Starting with the Southwest Conference, right here we have the Burlington Wildcats in a non-conference matchup here in Miller. Elsewhere, Ash Grove hosts Stockton tonight, in which should be a fantastic game up out east of here. And actually, that game is going to be tomorrow. All these games are going to be tomorrow, except for obviously Miller's game tonight. Marionville is hosting Skyline in Skyline's first or second game as a member of the Southwest Conference. Sircoxy is going to host Pierce City, and the Diamond Wildcats. They're good. The Burlington Wildcats are coming here from Kansas, and the Diamond Wildcats are going from Missouri over to Kansas as they are taking on the Southeast Knights. Our games of the week, aside from this one, Mount Vernon is going to host McDonald County tomorrow night. We will be there for that one. Cassville goes to East Newton, about Big 8 teams that are 1-1. The Joplin Eagles, number 9, goes to number 5, Nix. The Eagles. Nix has been looking the part up to this point. Tipton travels to Lamar, battle top 4 teams. Seneca goes to Nevada. Stockton travels to Ash Grove. Neosho goes to Lebanon. Pierce City takes on Sircoxy, and the Hollister Tigers will take on the Forsyth Panthers. We're about 15 minutes away. We'll step aside as we get the national anthem going, and we will be right back here live from Miller, Missouri. back to Miller, Missouri. We are just under 10 minutes away from getting started here. Let's before we get ready to go, we are about to have the Miller Cardinals come out. We'll and the Cardinals are coming out as we speak. We'll shoot you. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Now you got to look at the Cardinals. Let's introduce you to these Burlington Wildcats. The Wildcats 0-1 this year after falling to Santa Fe in the opening game of the season. They're coached by Cody Carlson. Cody Carlson, plenty of connections here to Missouri. They are he coached at Clinton for a number of years, but before that, he was a member of. He played football up at Northwest Missouri State, the FCS or the Division II Power in the MIAA. This is his third year at Burlington, and I'm telling you, he's bringing in possibly one of the most electric players the Cardinals are going to see all year. Brody Anderson is a legit track favorite in the 100, and it will likely, if he remains healthy, as you heard in the pregame interview with Coach Carlson, if he remains healthy, he will be one of the favorites to win the 100 in the state of Kansas. However, the last couple of years had suffered broken ankles and has not been able to run at the state meet yet. Other than Anderson, the offense is going to be led by Chance Haig, who is 11 for 25 this season, 156 yards. A couple of turnovers kind of plagued him with 2 interceptions. He also is a dual threat guy, 44 yards and a touchdown. Anderson had 4 receptions for 70 yards, 6 rushes for 42 yards. So the Miller defense is really going to have to be focused and not let him get loose. They're going to try to get him into some space, and the defense is going to have to, play sound defense on that. Like I said, they fell to Santa Fe Trail in their season opener, 14-7. But don't let that fool you. The Santa Fe team is a very, very solid squad. Let's meet your starters as you will go through the passing leaders first. We talked about Chance Haig, 156 yards, 44 yards rushing, 1 rushing touchdown, 2 turnovers, about 44%. Nate Hill is going to be quarterbacking for the Miller Cardinals, 234 yards, 97 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdown game a week ago, his career high, and 1 rushing but suffered 2 interceptions in last week's game in the week 1 game against Clever. So he'll have to tone that down as well. Leading the way rushing for the Cardinals, Owen Dempster, after a big week 2 game, is up to 53 yards on 8 carries. They found him and he got a little bit of momentum going there in the second half of that one. 30 yards was his long, 6.6 average, and a turnover. Brody Anderson, that we talked about, only 6 carries. They tried to kind of limit him after, like we said, after an ankle injury ended his season a year ago. And I like the story that was told by Coach Coach Carlson, Coach Cody Carlson, where after he had broke his ankle in 4 spots, and then he had broke his ankle, and then they thought it was just a high ankle sprain, so they had him going out wide and running fly routes and trying to get behind the defense, and was still doing it with a broken ankle, which was kind of amazing to hear about there. 6 carries, 42 yards, 25 was the long. Receiving, Jalen Madsen, the sophomore, leads away from Miller. 3 receptions, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he's catching a touchdown on 66% of his completions, averaging about 50 yards a game. Brody Anderson leads the way for the Wildcats, 4 receptions, 70 yards per game. You look at the team defenses, Miller Cardinals, the points allowed per game has shot up after 48 points last week, 35.5 points per game they're allowing. along with rushing yards, 377 rush yards allowed by and large from that 400-yard performance from Jack Frickman and the Stockton Tigers. They're doing a lot better job on the pass game, only allowing 105 yards, brings you out to 377 total yards allowed, 2 turnovers forced. Burlington, pretty salty on defense, only 133 rush yards allowed, 100 pass yards, 233 total. For that. Offensively, Burlington yet to score a point. They're going to look to change that here early on in this game. 106 rush yards, 168 pass yards. 3 turnovers is what plagued them in their Week 1 loss to Santa Fe Trail. Miller Cardinals averaging 16 points a game, 96.5 rush yards, 111 pass yards. So they're going to look to get things going as well. We are under 4 minutes away before kickoff here, and we'll continue to kind of take a look at this Burlington squad that that has several weapons. Brody Anderson, we had talked a lot about him. Only played in 6 games last season. Still ran for 302 yards and caught 546 more, along with 5 receiving touchdowns, which led the team. Lane Griffin, their Sam linebacker, was a second-team All-Pioneer selection last year. I guess we can go to let you see what's going on here in Miller. Logan Turner, the middle linebacker, started Week 1 as a freshman, then broke his wrist in practice, was out for 3 games, came back, finished the freshman year strong. A lot of injuries. That was kind of a theme of this Cody Carlson-led team. 8 players, 8 starters, 8 key contributors suffered major injuries in the first 2 games of the season last year. Stuckey was a center and defensive tackle last year. Kent was a second-team All-Pioneer League offensive line. For 2023, this will be his 3rd year starting at center. Alex Montz and Chance Haig did not play last year, both because of injury. So these Burlington Wildcats are definitely eager to get back on the field. We're 2 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to step aside for just a minute, but we will be back here just in time for kickoff. Welcome back to Miller, Missouri. We are 10 seconds from kickoff as the teams are running out. The Miller Cardinals won the toss, elected to kick off, and deferred to get the ball at halftime. Yes. And the Burlington Wildcats are going to get the ball first. Chance Haig, and we're going to get our first look at Brody Anderson to start this one off.
Taking off the lower number 3, Jared Long. Last week came the Wildcat, number 11, Landon Barber.
Jared Long gonna onside kick it to begin the game, and it's gonna be fallen on by number 53. That's Braden Riggs of Burlington, and we are underway here in Miller on Thursday night.
The Burlington will start off on their own 36-yard line.
Be the Burlington ball on their own 36. And Chance Haig gonna take the ball himself. He's gonna go to the outside. He's gonna find some space. He can get to the outside. It'd be a gain of about 11 on the ground for Chance Haig, and about as what you would be hoping for if you're a Burlington Wildcat to get started. Be a gain of about 13.
First down.
I have to apologize. At some point, I'll get everything together and ready to rock and rumble. Brody Anderson in motion to the backfield. He's going to run a little swing pass, and he's going to make the first guy miss. And you see that electric speed already, and he is going to house his first touch from 51 yards out. A touchdown on a little swing pass. The ball was thrown about 4 yards in the backfield, and we talked about his electric speed, and we saw it in full force right there. 51 yards by Brody Anderson, and the Wildcats are up 6-0. They're gonna line up for the extra point, and kick is up, and kick is no good. Looks like went just to the right. So it's going to be 6-0 is your score after one possession. We'll step aside, and it's going to be Miller ball here in week 3 action. Back here in Miller, Blake Walters and Jalen Madsen back deep for the Cardinals. 6-0 your score after Brody Anderson took a little swing pass, 51 yards. The fine pay dirt, his first touchdown of the season, and a kick's going to bounce out of bounds, and the Cardinals are going to get good field position to start their first drive of the game. Ball's going to be at the 35-yard line to begin for this Cardinal drive. Nate Hill in the backfield along with Caden Calvin. Walters in motion. Walters is, and we're going to have the play called dead. and a false start called on the Cardinals.
Bring it back 5 yards, be first and 15.
And a decent play design there had Blake Walters in motion. You got the fake handoff there. Caden Calvin had the ball with a gigantic hole. He looked like he was going to be able to bust off a solid gain to begin his day, but it was going to be called, be stopped before the play started. And the first down play is going to be a pass completed to Blake Walters.
Walters on the pass, picked up 4 yards.
It's going to be a pickup of 4 yards. Almost getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Walters can go in motion again. Nate Hill is going to look for somebody. Can't find anybody. And then he's got Jared Long, and he just overthrew him. He had Jared Long beyond the defensive backs, was wide open. No one in between him and pay dirt. And it looked like after a big 49-yard touchdown to begin last week's game, they had him right there and just missed him. We got 3rd and 11 for the Cardinals, and that was a fantastic presence of mind by Nate Hill, stepping up in the pocket, making a little bit of extra time to allow Long to come open. And the 3rd down play is going to be a keeper by Hill, and Hill's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. And that is going to be a gain of 2.
Brings up 4th down for the Cardinals.
And 4th down for the Cardinals. I know that's a throw that quarterback Nate Hill is going to want back. Had him wide open. 4th and 10, and Owen Weiss is in the punt, and it's going to take a decent roll for the Cardinals. Going to go out about the 35-yard line, and the offense of Burlington comes back out onto the field.
Owen Weiss is kick, they got down to the 35-yard line of the Wildcats.
Chance Hegg comes back out after a 51-yard touchdown. .947 remaining here in the opening quarter of play. Hegg and Alex Mott's in the backfield. He's going to throw another swing pass. This time out to number 4. That was Eli Irvin. And that's going to be a gain of
Number 4,
about 4.
Head picked up 3 yards, 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
You can call it 4 yards, 2nd and 6, up to the 38-yard line. And it's going to be a little jet sweep to Brody Anderson, and a flag's on our thrown. It looks like Anderson got close to the line to gain, but a flag in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be a hold on Burlington.
Holding against Burlington, we should call.
Going to push him back, be a 2nd and 12. Or no, that's a 10-yard rather. It's going to be about 2nd and 16.
17.
You'd think after 2 weeks I would start to know my rules, but run right up the middle. This one by Alex Motts. And that's going to be a short gain. A gain of 7. Bring up a 3rd and 10. Back from the original line of scrimmage. Hag, and there's going to be a false start. The number 80, Talise Sharp, the freshman, got went on the hard count as Hag was trying to get the Miller defense to jump off sides. It was the freshman of the Wildcats that jumped off side. Bring up 3rd and 15. And penalties have been a big story here early. Hags looking deep. And he's got Anderson, no one in front of him, and it's another completion, 70 yards to the house. What a start. We had talked a lot about Anderson leading into this one and how the Cardinals were going to have to, check up on this guy. And so far, 121 yards later, here through two possessions, and 12-0's your score. The 8:06 remaining. This one is through the uprights. And 13-0 is your score. We'll step aside as the Miller offense looks to come out, get something started here. Back here in Miller, as the Miller offense about to come back onto the field, Jalen Matson going to return this kick, and it looks like he's going to run right into Owen Dempster. Dempster made a nice block, and Matson ran right into the back of Dempster, and not quite what the sophomore was hoping for.
Matson returns the ball up to the Cardinals, number 5. 23-yard line.
Kangaroo that she's holding down there. What? Sorry, I got distracted. There's a Caden Calvin's gonna get the run. Jalen Matson just found out has a pet kangaroo and is down on the sideline. Caden Calvin, 4-yard run. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I got a nice little kangaroo, and it really threw me through a loop right there. All right, and back to action, and a good, strong run by, I believe that was that was Caden Calvin again. After its first run of 4, that one's going to be enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 8. Sorry about that. That's just something you don't see in Miller, Missouri every day. And another strong run by Nate Hill. And it looks like he's going to be stopped just short of the first down. Gain of 9 for Hill. Get them into double digits rushing so far. 2nd and 1, 6.5 minutes remaining. And the Miller offense moving the ball. little better than they were in this last one. Calvin with the carry, and he's going to get stopped at the line, but he's going to bounce to the outside. He's going to get a first down. Good second effort there by Caden Calvin. Didn't get about 3 yards there, but that's going to be enough for a Miller Cardinal first down. Calvin kind of slow start to the season compared to his last couple seasons, but he's looking to get things going here. Creeping down on 6 minutes here in this opening quarter of play. And whistles are being blown.
We're going to stop for a water break.
And it's going to be a water break. I got in trouble last week. I was kind of laughing at some of these water breaks as it's nice crisp 70 degrees outside. Maybe feels beautiful day here, but we'll step aside for just a minute as this water break commences. We are back here in Miller. Just under 6 minutes remaining here. It's 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line for the Miller Cardinals. Nate Hill is going to hand it off to Owen Dempster for his first carry of the game. He's going to be stopped short, but a good, strong run. Falls forward is Owen Dempster. Be a gain of about 4, or gain of 2. Pack of Wildcats there on the stop. Second and 8 for Miller. He'll try and get the hard snap or the hard count. Burlington not falling for it. This time it's gonna be a quarterback keeper, and he's gonna run out of room, and he's gonna run backwards. And he thought that he might have had something on the outside, and absolutely did not. It'd be a loss of probably a loss of 5. And that's not what you're wanting out of a play that just was kind of dead there from the start, going backwards 5 yards. Miller's gonna have some substitutions here. Third and 13 from the 43-yard line. Nate Hill steps back, looks deep. He's gonna go to Madison, and Madison, off the tip of his fingers, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, all incomplete. Intended to Madison. 4th down.
That's going to bring up 4th down for Miller in a drive that started out looking promising. Ends up falling flat. 4th and 13. Going to bring up 4th and 13. And Owen Weiss is back out to punt. And a high snap, but Owen Weiss is going to get a decent kickoff and a good bounce, and that's going to go out at about the 13, 14-yard line. And Miller's going to pin the Wildcats back.
16-yard line.
Miller defense is going to have to find an answer for Brody Anderson, who's already been electric out of the backfield and deep. Has caught a little swing pass to start the game, caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and then the last one was just a go route and went for a long one. That carry was by number 30, Logan Turner.
Number 30, Logan Turner on the carry, picks up 2 yards.
That's him pick up 2 yards.
Ran by several Cardinals.
And the next play goes deep again and intercepted. They were trying to go to Anderson once again deep, but Blake Walters said this is a no-fly zone here in Miller, and he picks it off at just shy of the 50-yard line, and Miller's going to get the ball back almost where they had to punt from, and it looks like it was a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against Burlington. That one don't matter. Miller Cardinals is going to take over here at about the 50-yard line, they're going to call it.
Cardinals start on the 50-yard line.
Talk about it, making a play when you need it the most. After a couple long shots to Anderson, they went to the well once again, and this one was picked off. The first play for Miller can be a run up the middle, gain of 5 by Caden Calvin. He's up to 20 yards early in this one. The about hit is a season high. Split backfield here. This one's going to go to Owen Dempster. Dempster's going to be caught up right at the line of scrimmage. He's going to fall forward. But the fullback is not going to get a whole lot of push there. It'll be a gain of 1. 3rd and 4 from the 44-yard line. This feels like a big play here for the Miller Cardinals. You do not want to go 3 and out after making a big stop on the defensive side. Nate Hill can go back to Caden Calvin, who's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage and then brought down hard. Good hard-nosed tackle. He's going to be stopped first by number 40, Lane Griffith, the All-Pioneer League selection, and then was just thrown off the equilibrium and was not enough to go about it. That looked like a play where they were planning on going for it on 4th down, and sure enough, they are. From the 44-yard line, 4th and 4. 4 is all over the place on the scoreboard. 4th and 4 from the 44. And Nate Hill rolls to the near side, and he's going to find Jared Long, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Big-time play, senior to senior. And that's going to bring up the chains are going to move. And that's going to be a gain of 13 yards. Big time play there by the senior duo. Hill is going to go right back. Looked like he was going to Madsen, and it's going to go through his hands. Miller sidelines didn't like the maybe a step late. I don't know, maybe an unpopular opinion. Being up in this press box, it looked like nothing egregious about it. Football, not ballerina dancing. Nate Hill is going to roll to the far side. He's going to go back up the middle. He's got a hole, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Miller. 31 yards out. Nate Hill looked like he was dead to rights in the backfield, but he was able to just wiggle and finagle his way through a bunch of traffic, and that's going to put Miller on the board. A 31-yard touchdown run from Nate Hill gets the Miller Cardinals on the board. It's been an eventful first quarter, and Long is going to get the extra point through. 13-7 is your score. Minute 12 remaining here in the opening quarter. We'll be step aside for just a minute. We'll be right back here from Miller, Missouri. Welcome back to Miller, as the Cardinals just got on the board with a 31-yard touchdown run by Nate Hill, and this is a ball game again, 13-7, and just a fantastic play by Hill. And the onside kick is to be touched, and there's a scrum for the ball. No signal yet. Bounced off the hands of a Burlington Wildcat, and Burlington is going to recover. And I mean, that was one of those that the ball was on the ground. I mean, both sides was diving after it, and the dog pile built up quick, almost like a rugby scrum. But it was Burlington who had the ball. There's no telling how many times the ball changed possessions down at the bottom of that. But it was Burlington who ended with it. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. But yeah, no, on that touchdown run by Hill, looked like he was dead to rights, made the cut back to the near side, and the hole just opened up, and nobody was on that help side. And the first play for Burlington's going to be brought down. Be a gain of 1. Alex Mott's on that carry, gain of 1. Anderson in the backfield is going to get the toss and lit up in the backfield. Number 30, Caden Calvin and Trenton Pierce, both in there. 34, Colton Brown, Caden Calvin, Colton Brown converged on him and hit him in the backfield. Loss of 2. Fantastic defensive play from the 2 senior linebackers. And it looks like that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter of play. 13-7 is your score after 1 quarter. What a opening quarter it's been. I mean, just back and forth, big play after big play. But it's going to be Burlington's that has the lead after a pair of long touchdown receptions from Haig to Brody Anderson, has Burlington up 13-7. We'll step aside. You're watching Miller Cardinal football here on Southwest Missouri Sports. Back here in Miller to start the second quarter. It is 3rd and 11 for the Burlington Wildcats on their own 39-yard line. And Haig is going to look for a man, and he's going to have him. That's going to be number 4, Eli Irvin. Be a gain of about 16.
Also, the section picks up the first down for the Cats.
Red line.
Going to be enough for a first down. First and 10 from the 44. Hagen run to the outside and be hit in the backfield by Caden Calvin. And Calvin's got his it was his own wristband that came off. I thought he had snatched the wristband off of the quarterback and ran it over to Coach Lung on the sideline. This is going to be a run play to Anderson. Anderson going to be brought down by Brody Rinker. Be a gain of 5. Miller's done a good job of holding. And actually, I think that was Haig's wristband that Rinker brought over to the Miller sideline. Haig keeps pointing over at his wrist. And I do think that was the Burlington's quarterback's wristband that was brought over to the Miller sideline by Caden Calvin. Mott's on the carry there. Going to be a gain of 3. Bring up 4th and 1. And the Tigers or Wildcats are going for it. And it looks like it's going to be a QB sneak here. And it is. And no signal yet. And first down for the Wildcats. A gain of 2. We'll call it a gain of 1.5. And flag thrown as the play gets started here. And be a penalty on the Wildcats. Man, we have seen just about everything from maybe some gamesmanship from Calvin running the starting the other team's quarterback's wristband over to the Miller sideline to Kangaroos out.
Sure, yeah. Pick up some of their plays, maybe.
Timeout called by Burlington. We'll step aside as it's 13-7 here with 9:40 remaining.
Hello, everybody.
We're back here in Miller, 9:40 remaining, and the Connor Stallions scandal is over as Coach Jeff Lung ran the Chance Haig's wristband back over to the Burlington sideline on his 1st and 15, going deep, and ball thrown behind him, and it's Anderson. The ball's gonna go right between his arms. And Coach Hill's not happy about something. I'm not sure what it And this poor sideline judge is hearing it from Coach Hill all night long, and like I said, I'm not say that there was a little bit of a contact down there, but nothing to. Pass gonna be complete to Anderson. Gonna be stopped short. It's gonna be bring up a 3rd and long. Be hit by Blake Walters. Be a gain of 1. $8:58 remaining here in this first half of play. Hegg is gonna find Anderson on the outside, and Anderson's gonna try and make a guy miss, but a fantastic open field tackle by looks like 15 for the Cardinals. Jalen Madsen. Be a gain of 9. Fantastic open field tackle by the sophomore. I mean, we have talked ad nauseum about Anderson's playmaking ability, and getting stopped right there, and a keeper there by Hegg, and that's going to be enough for a first down and some. Be a gain of, call it 9, and that's another long, another opportunity where you had them caught on 3rd and long, 3rd and more than 10, and picked up a 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. The Cardinals got to keep them out of the end zone here. This one's going to go to Motts, and Motts is going to be brought down for a short gain, probably a medium gain, probably about a gain of 4. And the Miller run defense has been much improved from a week ago, where we saw Jack Rickman run for over 200 yards himself from Stockton, and 400 yards total from the Stockton Tigers. And Hegg is gonna have that one just did not look good coming out of the hand of Hegg, and that's gonna be an incomplete pass. Hegg has thrown a couple of really good looking deep balls, one of them going 70 yards on a seam route by Anderson. Had another one that looked good, but a fantastic play by Blake Walters resulted in a turnover. But here we go again, 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats, and they're going to run a quarterback power, and Hegg's going to get to the outside, and he's going to be, I saw a flag come flying in. If it stands, it's going to be a first down. Oh, maybe I didn't see a flag come flying in. Maybe it was a football down beyond. And that's going to be a first down. I thought I saw the side judge reach in his pocket, but I didn't. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Hegg is going to keep it himself again, go right up the middle, and this time he's going to be brought down just short. A gain of 4. And I mean, that ball could not get any closer to the goal line. From where I'm standing, it looked like it was in, and here comes a QB sneak again. And first attempt was stopped short, but the second one is going to be enough for a touchdown. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Yes.
And hey, fantastic. Did a lot of work there on the ground. Getting about 25 yards there on that drive that, from the 40-yard line. And that's going to push the lead back up to 2 scores. And the 2-point conversion is going to be a speed option to Anderson. And this time there is, in fact, a flag. I see yellow. And it looks like it's going to be in the area where a holding is typically called. And that's going to bring up from the 10-yard line if they decide to go for it again.
He did make it in for the point after, so it's now a 15-yard point after attempt.
Going to bring the ball out to the 13-yard line. .6:22 remaining here in this opening half, and Haig is going to look to pass, and he throws into triple coverage. I see Dempster there, I see Jared Lung there, and I see, who's the other one? Madsen there. And pass is going to be broken up. 19-7 is your score with 6 minutes and 22 seconds. The Miller offense is going to look to put together a drive before the halftime break. Bring it back within 1 score. We'll step aside as the team switch sides. We are back. 6:22 remaining in this second quarter. Burlington leads Miller 19-7 after Chance Haig just got into the end zone once again for the Wildcats. Kickoff's going to find Walters. Walters looks to make a guy miss. He makes the first one miss, makes the second one miss. He's going down the sideline. He's cutting back upfield, and he has his lane, and he's going to be brought down at the 27-yard line. Great return there by Blake Walters. Tiptoe the edge of the sideline down to deep into Wildcat territory. What a return there by the junior. And the Cardinals are in business here with 6 minutes remaining. Nate Hill back out in the for the Cardinals. A split look. I was kind of wondering where the Miller offense was going. Split look with Dempster and Calvin in the backfield. This one's going to go to Calvin. Calvin's got a hole up the middle, and he's got no one in front of him. 28 yards for Caden Calvin. It's a one-score ball game. One cut and go. Follow his blockers 28 yards to the house, and Calvin gets his first touchdown of the 2024 season. Owen Dempster had a tremendous block there out of the backfield. It opened up just a gaping hole as Lung's point after attempt is good. Extremely low kick. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it the 10 feet up in the air. However, it is 19-14 as this game is starting to pick up here. We'll step aside once again. 6:03 remaining in this first half of play. We're back here in Miller. 19-14 your score. 6:03 remaining after a 28-yard touchdown run by Caden Calvin. And the Cardinals are back, and a little pooch kick there. And the ball is out through the hands of 63. And I don't know who 63 is for Burlington, but it looks like the Wildcats are going to fall back on it. But that's the second kick in a row where the ball hits the floor, and there's just a rugby scrum at the bottom of the pile. Last time the Wildcats was able to overcome a rocky start to the drive on the kickoff and resulted it in a touchdown, a 1-yard run by Haig, who had a fantastic drive. I mean, had about 25 yards on the ground himself and made several big-time throws on 3rd and 4th down. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Haig back out, and he's going to look for Anderson. Anderson is covered up, and Haig is going to be brought down in the backfield. That is a sack for Brody Mitchell. Or 59, rather. Connor Pendleton. Sorry, Connor. And we're going to step aside for a water break. Big time sack there. We'll step aside. It is 19-14, 6 minutes remaining in the first half. We are back here at Miller as we are approaching the halftime break. 5 minutes and 57 seconds remaining. And it's 2nd and 17 after a big time sack from Connor Pendleton. Pushes the Wildcats back, and it looks like there's some blood on the knee of number 30, Logan Turner, linebacker for Burlington. Little pitch out to Anderson. Anderson's going to try and make a guy miss, get through, but Owen Dempster meets him right in the gap. And it's going to be a gain of about 3. Caden Calvin right there as well, bringing him down. Calvin kind of had him hit him, and Dempster was right there, to stand them up. And that's at least the second time those two have teamed up to make a big time stop there on Anderson. 3rd and 15. Cardinals, you got to look for the deep throw here to Anderson. And he's going to be brought down from behind again. Owen Dempster gets rattled, and A flag is thrown. And it's going to be a sideline warning against the Cardinals. That play is going to stand. Loss of
20. 4th and 20.
loss of 5. There's going to be a 4th and 20. I saw the flag and got a little worried. Connor Pendleton and Owen Dempster was putting on quite the celebration. And the shanked punt, and that's not even going to make it to midfield. That one's going to, I think the punt was higher than it was, had more height than it had distance. And the Cardinals get the ball back at the 38-yard line. This would be a huge possession. This is a huge possession for the Cardinals here. We're going to give it right back to the touchdown maker, Caden Calvin. Gain of 4. Calvin running the ball very well here in this first half of play. Running between the tackles beautifully. And it looks like a Cardinals slow to get up. Lane Kale. But he's going to stay out there. 2nd and 7. Now the gain of 3. 52 yards for Calvin here in this opening half of play. Let's go back to him. Why not? And he goes just outside the tackle. Be brought down for a medium gain. It's going to be a gain of 2. I mean, a gain of 4, rather. We're going to call it a gain of 3. 3rd and 5. We'll meet in the middle. Or it's be a gain of 2 then. 3rd and 5 from the 33-yard line. Hill's going to put it in Calvin's hands again. He's going to make a nice cut up field. And a good cut is going to get it up close to the first down marker. They're going to bring out the chain gang to measurement. I mean, that was about as close as you can get. 3rd and 5 or 5-yard gain by Calvin. And we'll see where we're sitting. It looks like we're going to be just short. No, it's going to be just long enough. First down for the Cardinals.
Learning boys are over here.
It's a beautiful night for football out here. We got people from everywhere. Mount Vernon boys are leading the student section here in Miller here on a Thursday night. They have a big one tomorrow night against McDonald County, which we will be at. Just a preview. We'll put in a quick little preview of that one here in the second half. Oh, and Dempster, ball comes out and recovered by Burlington. Owen Dempster picked up about 3 yards, and the ball just popped out. Almost looked like he was trying to pitch it, but it was poked from behind. And the fumble is going to give the ball back to Burlington. And definitely not what you were looking for there. Especially after him making several big-time plays on the defensive end that gave the Cardinals the ball back in such good field position. Haig with the carry and be brought down by
Quarterback keeping.
62. Mason Neely. Flag is out.
There is a penalty on the play.
So it looks like Mason
Against the Cardinals.
got Haig just a little high in the around the neck area. Get called for a face mask. Be a gain of 5 after the end of the run.
Down. First down.
Be run by Anderson to the outside, can get stopped. Give me a first down for Burlington. Be a gain of 5. Walters credited with the tackle from behind.
Goes all the way up to about the 41.5-yard line.
And the final about 6 minutes of the second quarter was kind of where the game last week kind of went the other direction with Stockton. As Haig is gonna, looks like he was thinking about running an option. Flag is gonna be thrown. Looks like that's gonna be a hold on Burlington.
8 yards. But there is penalty on the play.
Haig with a good run, gain of 8, but just to be erased by a penalty. It's gonna be a 10-yard penalty, 1st and 20. But as I was saying, the final 6 minutes was kind of where the game got out of hand for the Cardinals a week ago. After a fumble, and then Stockton was able to get a couple of touchdowns in. But we're looking to make sure that something like that, fend off a late touchdown here. And Haig is going to be met by a host of Cardinals. Met in the hole by 27, Charlie Langston, the freshman who had a tremendous game a week ago. And it's going to be a gain of nothing. Met by a flock of Cardinals, but Charlie Langston meets them. The freshman. We talked a lot about him last week and having a big game, and right there, stepped up, made another really good tackle on the defensive side. Second and 17. This one's going to Anderson, and Anderson is hit. Actually, I don't know if he was hit or if he hit number 54, Connor Neely. But it was a high-speed collision. Gain of 2 to the 38-yard line. Flag on the field. And this looks like it's going to be
Personal foul.
a personal foul on Miller.
Personal foul, 15 yards. It will give him a first down.
I didn't see what happened, but a crucial penalty on Miller is going to give Burlington a first down. Now, I didn't see what happened there.
I did.
43 seconds remaining here in this one, in this first quarter, or this first half rather, second quarter. And a timeout's going to be called on Burlington. We'll step aside. We'll be right back for the remaining 40 seconds or 35 seconds here in Miller. Welcome back to Miller. 35 seconds remaining here in this opening half. Got word that the personal foul was a late hit on Colton Brown. After the play, he came in late, and then a Burlington guy threw him off, and it was kind of a 50-50 call there. Goes against the Cardinals, and Haig is going to take it up the middle and brought down by 34, Colton Brown. Good run there by Haig. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. And Miller's going to call a timeout with 19 seconds left. Well, if you're Miller right here, you got 19 seconds left. You're down by 5. You have an elite track athlete on the other side who's burnt you twice. 42 on the 42-yard line. You're just making sure that Brody Anderson does not get behind you and get a cheap one there late.
The ball after need to stop.
Say Burlington really looking to put points up. Miller elected to defer to the second half at the coin toss, so they're going to get the ball to start the second half. But if you're the Cardinals, you have got to put an eye on number 5. Do not let him beat you deep. And Haig is going to the other side. This one's Irvin, and a tremendous pass breakup there by 32, Trenton Pierce. Eli Irvin had him on the outside with all the attention going to Anderson on the other side. They ran Irvin out on a fly route on the other side. Kind of a tremendous, great idea there by Coach Carlson and the Burlington Wildcats. 3rd and 5 here from the 42-yard line. 13 seconds remaining. Gotta imagine a shot deep here, and he's gonna be brought down. Owen Dempster gets in there and brings down Chance Haig. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. Owen Dempster, a tremendous sack. I believe that's his 2nd or 3rd of this first half. And that's going to give the Cardinals a 5-point lead going into the break. 19-14 is your halftime score. And, I mean, what a tremendous opening half of play this has been. The Wildcats got the party started early on the second play of the game, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Chance Haig to Brody Anderson, as we're going to bring you into the booth here with me and my good pal here, Billy Bieber, who is working all the camera work. If it's shoddy, this is the guy to blame. If the scoreboard is off, he's the guy to blame. No, he does a tremendous job, and I appreciate all of his help. But welcome into the booth. After the 51-yard touchdown, got the Wildcats up 6-0. Sorry, I'm having to pull double duty here, running the music as well. I know him. But so after that, Burlington got on the board again, a 70-yard touchdown pass from Haig to Anderson. Once again, this one on a fly route, just got behind the defense. After a Miller punt, Burlington threw an interception, another deep ball, looked to go back to Anderson. This one was broken up by Walters and goes the other way. Miller capitalized with a 31-yard touchdown run by Nate Hill, who made a tremendous play, cut back up in the field, and was able to make a play there. I'll be down there in a second. Burlington got the scoring started in the second half, as well as a drive that was plagued by 3rd and long and 4th down conversions. resulted in a 1-yard touchdown run by Chance Haig with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. That put them up 19-7. And then Miller got back on the board with a 28-yard touchdown run by Calvin with 6 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. That gives us our score right now, 19-14. Looking at stats for the first half, Chance Haig for the Burlington Wildcats has 151 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, as well as adding another 35 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Alex Motz has 15 yards on the ground, Brody Anderson with 12. Catching the ball, it's been the Brody Anderson show. 131 yards, the majority of which coming on those first 2 receptions of the game with a 51-yard and a 70-yard touchdown. Eli Irving adds in 20 for a total of 364 first half yards for the Burlington Wildcats. Miller on the other side, 17 yards on 2 of 4 passing for Nate Hill. It has been the Caden Calvin show, 59 yards, including a 28-yard touchdown run, 31-yard touchdown run by Nate Hill for his 37, and Owen Dempster has 6 yards on the ground, but has that costly fumble that ended up not being as costly as we thought. However, we could be looking at a potential 20-19 lead here. Jared Long, 13 yards receiving. Blake Walters has 4 yards receiving for the Miller Cardinals. Just want to say thank you once again to our sponsors, the Clever Barn and the Burger Shack. If I can find my paper I'm looking for here. I want to say thank you to the Burger Shack first here. Burger Shack is a proud sponsor of the Miller Cardinals and is a taste of game day. Tyler Snyder and his crew, I've seen him walking around once again here tonight, they guarantee you to bring guaranteed to bring you the best burger in Miller. They're located right by the high school and in the shade of the football stands. Be sure to stop by here in a couple weeks for your pregame treat. I also want to say thank you to the Clever Barn. Be sure to check out the Clever Barn for your upcoming events of any kind if you like old barns and rustic themes. The Clever Barn was built in the 1880s, and just wait till you see what Randy and Laura Walden have done out there. Located just a few miles south of Clever on Jasmine Road, they were recently voted the number 3 wedding venue by Southwest Missouri Magazine. They can't wait to host your event. Give them a call at 417-350-2343. While we're on the topic of the Clever Barn, let's go ahead and kick it out to Jasmine Road out in Clever, where we caught up with Laura Walden.
Hello, everybody. Skyline Akins with Southwest Missouri Sports here. Joined with me is Laura Walden of the Clever Barn. First off, just thank you for taking a little bit of time and talking with us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
So, Clever Barn here in Clever, Missouri, kind of event venue. Just kind of tell me a little bit more about about your venue.
Yeah, it was built in the 1880s, and my husband and I have done all the work on it to create a very relaxing, laid-back feel as soon as you get here. And we have every kind of event you can think of out here. We have weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries, karaoke nights. We have ladies' nights, guys' nights, movie parties, a little bit of everything really out here.
Yeah, it really was there's something for everybody. You were taking me around here and showing me there was everything from a putting green to tiki bars. And,
yeah.
It really is, there is something for everybody.
Oh, well, thank you.
So when did you guys open?
We opened up May 17th, 2014. So we just now celebrated our 10th year anniversary.
10 years.
This summer, yeah, we went just like that. And we've just been having a blast, and we're always working on it. And it's just the two of us, and a lot of work, but we love what we're doing, have huge passion for it, and you just never know what you're going to see every time you come out. So we get a kick out of that.
What was your inspiration kind of behind wanting to open something like this up?
Well, you're probably going to laugh at this. Actually, we used to have parties here back when it was just a nasty old barn, and we're having a party upstairs, our Waldoween, which is our Halloween party we have every year, with our last name being Walden. It started with Waldo. So we're having our Waldoween back in 2013, and we had like 50 plus, people. and just having a blast, you know. And at that time, it was just nasty, you know.
Yeah.
And as they were leaving, we were out there by the bonfire, and I said, "What do you think about turning this whole thing into a venue, you know, kind of thing?" And he looked at me and said, "I think you're nuts." And I said, "Well, I think so too, but you don't know till you try." So we started that very next morning, and we opened up 6 months later. And ever since then, we just get busier and busier and more known, you know. We're really, really excited with where it's gone.
Yeah, so, you know, you kind of talked about, you know, you host all kinds of events, you know, parties, guys' nights, girls' nights, weddings. I think I've seen pictures on Facebook of, I don't know if there was, like, the Clever prom or not prom, but, like, there was, like, some event out here, I think a couple of years ago or something like that. But just kind of talk about what are some of your favorite events to put on.
My favorite events. I would say the most events we have out here are my Sweet 16 birthday parties.
Huh.
They have an absolute blast. Usually the moms are down here playing board games or shooting pool or whatever, and the girls are all upstairs and they're singing karaoke and they're dancing and having a little party, you know, and they get the whole barn to themselves. And that's something else too. They can either bring in everything, or I can take care of everything and have it all ready for them, you know, when they arrive. So I try to be really accommodating, you know, for, you know, whatever they have in mind, you know.
Yeah, you know, you've been telling me, you know, there's always something going on down here. Roughly, how many events do you guys host, you know, every year?
Oh, Lord. I would have to say at least 100, probably.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, with everything, because some weekends are double booked, you know. Sometimes I'm booked from Thursday through Sunday. It varies, you know, and we're open all year round. So
you know, obviously, you know, Clever Barn. You know, not all your business comes from Clever, but you know, just kind of talk about, you know, the relationship that you kind of have with the community out here.
Oh, yeah, my gosh. I love having my open hangout nights. And like you say, you know, we've got the putting green, the bowling, the kids zone, the karaoke dance floor, big bonfire pit, you know, out the back. It's just we wanted it to be a laid back spot where people could come out and have a good time. And then now we got our food truck. So now we're doing that as well. And we don't charge anything, you know, for individual things that they're going to do, you know, and people appreciate that because, you know, the economy, you know, so I still want them to have a place to come out and have a good time, but not, you know, break the bank, you know.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So if someone wants to, you know, schedule an event, whether it's a, you know, if it's just like a group hangout or, you know, a Sweet 16 birthday party, what's the process look like? You know, to schedule an event like that?
Yeah. My number is 417-350-2343. They can call me, text me, whatever they're comfortable with. You can find me on Facebook, The Clever Barn, and I'm on Instagram, Google, you know, all of those social medias. And yeah, I would love to talk to you. I'd love to have your events out here. The coolest thing about having a venue is that we've made so many friends out here. And it's amazing. They're not customers. They are actual, they're our friends, you know, and we love that. We just really get a kick out of that, you know.
So someone just gives you a call and then kind of says what they're wanting to do, you know, what kind of event they're wanting to do. And is there like different package plans that they can choose from? Or?
Yeah. For my weddings, I can do the all-inclusive, or I can do all you. So the all-inclusive, I take care of everything for up to 50 people. That's their catering. That is, let's see, all of their paper products. That would be their officiant. That would be their fireworks send-off. Let's see, what else? Everything we have, they would have access to it. I know I'm forgetting some things. I do apologize about that. But and. Yeah, in essence, if they have something in mind, I'll make it happen for them, you know. And if they have everything already, you know, down what they want to do, you know, they just bring everything in and I'll help them, you know. I can, you know, run the bar for them, or I can take care of their food, you know, or I can just be off to the side and be there when they need me, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, you know, having an event venue like this, I mean, I'm sure you've kind of seen a little bit of everything. I mean, just what's been, you know, a few of your favorite stories or memories that you've had hosting events?
Memories out here. I'll tell you one. This is really, really cool. Talking about having relationships, you
Yep.
know. Okay, so I'm having my ladies' nights here one night, and I have like 5 or 6 ladies, you know, over there at the bar with me, you know, just chatting a little bit. And in walks a lady that I didn't know, so I walked over, shook her hand, thanked her for coming out, you know, introduced myself. And she said, well, my name is Amber. I got married here about 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, I'm sorry. She goes, no, you meet a lot of people. I get it, you know. And she goes, plus I looked a lot different then, you know, and everything. She's now one of my absolute best friends. I mean, I kid you
That's
not.
cool.
I love things like that, you know, repeat business, but it's not just repeat business. It's I'm actually a part of their life. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
part of their memories that they're making out here in this really, really cool old barn that we breathed life back into.
Yeah.
You know, it was ready to come down, you know, and like I said, my husband said I was nuts. But I said, well, you don't know, you know, till you try. So we keep trying, you know, and just love it.
Yeah, and I think you're kind of putting a unique opportunity, you know, have your wedding out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know from, you know, my experience, you know, that plot of land is always going to have an extremely special place in, you know, all these people's hearts. So,
Oh, yeah.
so being able to kind of be being a person that kind of helps those memories being made, that's got to be a really rewarding role to play there as well.
It's amazing. I meet people from all over, and it's just it's so cool. I can't say cool enough because I love what I do, and we have such huge passion for it, and we just try to keep it, you know, authentic, you know, because it is an old barn, you know, and but we kept it original as we possibly could, you know what I mean? And I really feel that there's something for every age out here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we named it the Clever Barn, because we thought it was kind of clever that they could have anything out here, you know. And we just get a big kick out of it, you know. There's nothing like sharing memories with people.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate your time. You know, is there just anything else that you want to leave everybody with, or?
Really, I just want to thank everybody for accepting us, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, you know. We're not in the middle of a big town with a big, you know, marquee sign and lights and everything, you know. We're kind of out in the boonies a little bit.
I think that adds to a lot. Adds to
you
it.
know, it really does. People tell me all the time that this is a sweet getaway.
Yeah.
And at nighttime, you got to see it at nighttime sometime. Even if you just drive by when we're having an event, it's like the circus has come to town. You know what I mean? Because there's just lights everywhere, and everybody's having a great time, and it's just so fun, you know.
Well, I know you gave your contact information once. I just want to give it out one more time,
Yeah.
just for everybody.
Yeah. 417-350-2343 is my phone number. I would love to chat with you if you want to, or you can just message my my business page if you want.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura.
You're
Really appreciate you
welcome.
sitting down with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome back to Miller, Missouri, as we are getting ready to kick off the second half of action. And Miller's going to get the ball here to open up after a very eventful first half that saw Burlington build up a 19-14 lead. And the kickoff is going to be a squib kick. It's going to be recovered by Miller and be brought down. Is number 12, Jack Shearer. And the second half is underway. Yeah, that first half had about everything that, we were talking about, the long touchdowns, and then from long touchdowns, the Kangaroos on the sideline. It's been a good Thursday night. It's beautiful weather, as it looks like Calvin's going to get the carry. And that's going to be the carry, or the key to this second half. Caden Calvin is going to have to stay hot running the ball. You're going to have to continue to feed him, as he got off to a quick start week 1 against Clever. However, kind of slowly kind of went away from that, and Clever was able to capitalize. And so we'll have to see if they continue to trust the run game. Hill with split backfield going back to Calvin. Calvin just bullying his way through the middle of the up there, and it's going to be a gain of about 2. Be 3rd and 5. Nate Hill scrambles out. He's going to find Jared Long. Big time reception here. Going to the sideline. That's going to be a gain of, see what they give him. Be a gain of about 13. Caden Calvin with a nice block in the backfield. And speaking of Calvin, he about busted another one there. And we had almost had an official down. Number 70 for Miller got blocked in the back. Lane Kale went right into the knees of the official, and it looks like all parties are okay here. 2nd and 5 after a 5-yard gain by Calvin. And another one run by Calvin going to the outside, and just keep feeding the horse. And he stopped just short, gain of 4, 3rd and 1. And and this Miller offense has been really good this year at being multiple. You saw them take advantage of maybe shoddy pass defense against Stockton, where you saw Nate Hill throw for 3 touchdowns, and Hill's gonna keep it himself there. It's gonna be a gain of about 2. But that's gonna be enough for a Miller first down, and the Cardinals are marching down the field once again. A week ago, you saw the Cardinals, get it done through the air. 3 touchdown passes by Nate Hill, including a 49-yarder to Jared Long. Another nice 22-yarder to Owen Weiss. Nice little toad tap at the corner of the end zone. Another good run. This offensive line, my goodness, the push that they're getting up front has been very impressive. Calvin on the carry again, picks up 5. He's approaching 80 yards for this game. 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. 19-14 is your score. Second and 6 from the 23. And that, and we kind of hit on that. That's gonna be the key to the second half for the Cardinals. You're gonna have to keep trusting the run game. Let your offensive line, let Caden Calvin, let Owen Dempster do work. And another very strong run there by Caden Calvin, right up the middle. And they're just going between the tackles now. Gain of 3. Bring up a 3rd and 3. Defensively, you're gonna have, like we spent most of the pregame show talking about Brody Anderson, the electric running back / receiver for Burlington. You're gonna have to just eliminate the deep threat. If he beats you short, then then you're gonna have to live with it. But don't allow him to have that the easy long one again. Another run by Calvin's going to bring up a 4th and about 1.5. If you're Burlington, you're going to kind of the opposite. You're going to want to find a way to get Brody the ball in space. He's been eaten up for the majority of that second quarter. Allow him to get the ball in space and, just be physical up front, win that line of scrimmage, and not let the Cardinals run the ball down the throat. 4th and 1 here. And this was, he trips in the backfield. Calvin trips over the foot of Nate Hill in the backfield. Had a hole there. And it's going to be a failed 4th down attempt. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Burlington. Very unfortunate for the Cardinals there, as Burlington gets an assist there by the back leg of Nate Hill. Good opening run there by Mott's. No, that's Anderson. Be a 11-yard gain by Mott's. 1st and 10 from the 30. And this one's going to be a keeper by Haig. And Haig is going to make his way up the middle of the defense. Be a gain of 9 on the keeper. And looks like it's going to be a water timeout as we hit the 6-minute mark here in the third quarter. 19-14 is your score. We'll step aside for the water break as we are in a tight one here in Miller. Here in Miller, Missouri, 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, 2nd and 1 for the Burlington Wildcats, who hold a 5-point lead right now. And it's going to be a little option play to the outside and a short game by Mott's. I don't think and they are going to give them a first down, so they're going to get 2 yards when you just needed 1, just on the other side of that first down marker.
Anderson gets it all the way up to the 32-yard line.
I don't know what I was doing. I was getting ready to start looking up some scores from around the area, but there are no other games going on. So Anderson's going to pop this one to the outside, and he's going to use his speed to get way out, and Walters may have lucked out there. Looked like he gave Anderson a nice little shove there at the end after he had already been ruled out of bounds.
47-yard line.
That's going to be a gain of 16. Longest run play for the Wildcats, period. Actually, it's going to be a gain of 26, rather. And good tackle there by Charlie Langston. But an illegal procedure call is going to erase that that gain. Bring back 1st and 15 from the 37, and the Miller defense needs to stop here. This is a game that Miller feels like they should be controlling much more than they are. Anderson's going to get the swing pass. Once again, they've had success in this already. It can be a gain of 9 for Anderson. That's little swing pass is what they had run to get that first touchdown of the game, that 51-yarder. And they've had success with it several times already this game. That's not going to be, it's going to be about a gain of 7. And the second down run by Haig is going to be enough for a first down. That's going to be a gain of 5. And the chains continue to move. Yeah, this feels like a game that Miller should be controlling after after 2 muffed kickoffs from Burlington. Had the ball on the ground in the middle of a scrum that Burlington recovered both of those, and then Miller had an opportunity to nice tackle there by a flock of Cardinals. They were held up by Owen Dempster in the backfield on the run by Haig. And be a gain of nothing. But then there at the end of the quarter, the first half, you were able to force a shanked punt, and you had the ball on the 20-yard line about to score to take the lead going into halftime, and a fumble by Owen Dempster stopped that, and then was able to get a stop on defense as Haig is going to take the line, but is tripped up by 84. I believe that's Brody Rinker. And then his first possession of the third quarter, Miller was driving down the field once again, and then Caden Calvin was tripped by the leg of Nate Hill. And just like that, just the momentum swings has really kind of bit Miller, and just need to find a way to get the ball in the end zone, as Brody Anderson's gonna take it wide on a 3rd and 6 play. And that's going to be enough for a first down. Blake Walters, Caden Calvin right there to meet him on the outside. But that's going to be a gain of 6. And just like that, Burlington 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Burlington's going to go opposite way. Haig makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, and the Cardinals are going to be called for a face mask, but that's not going to matter because Haig is going to get in the end zone with a 14-yard touchdown.
Is it a touchdown? I think they were down.
Or was they?
I think it was down.
And my depth perception is not working very well tonight. We'll see what the call is here. Yep, can be a face mask. And he did get in the end zone. So Haig's second touchdown of the game puts the Wildcats back up by 11 for the moment. Make that 12. As the PAT is good. We'll step aside. 2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. We'll step aside as we continue on Thursday night football. Welcome back to Miller as the Cardinals are getting ready to get the ball back down 12 here late in the third quarter of play. And they're going to enforce the face mask on the kickoff. So Burlington's going to be kicking from the 45-yard line of Miller. Exactly. Elsewhere across the country, the Bills and Dolphins are getting late in the first quarter, tied 7-7. Josh Allen found James Cook for a 17-yard touchdown reception, and Tua found Devon Achane. As this one's going to be taken by Madsen. Makes the first guy miss, but not going to be enough for anything. And Miller's got a long way to go here.
Looks like the Cardinals just start on their own 20-yard line.
(26-14) here in Miller. Busy day here on campus as the volleyball team also hosted Billings. I'm starting to see some of the volleyball girls start making their way over to Cardinal Stadium. And Calvin's going to be stopped short after a short gain. Be a gain of 3. Pass by Nate Hill. Gonna find I didn't see who that was, and ball came loose. And the receiver is down. I think that was Walters. And he is down. We're going to step aside while they are tending to Walters.
Hello, everybody. Skyline Akins with South.
We are back here in Miller as Walters comes off the field. And what was kind of scary seeing a fumble was the ruling on the play. Burlington with the ball 1st and 10, and Haig is going to be brought down for a short gain. Be a gain of about 2.
Oh, no, you're good. Good.
And welcome to the booth, Lynette Kleeman.
Miller won their volleyball game over.
Just got word that Miller volleyball did in fact win over Billings in 3 sets. So congratulations to the Miller volleyball team. And Haig is going to take the ball for a gain of, looks like it's going to be about a gain of 7. And we're going to do something that we hadn't ever done before here in I believe either later or sometime next week. And we're going to be broadcasting a volleyball game as the Miller Cardinals take on the Fairgrove Eagles. Coach, the Miller's girls basketball coach, Ryan White's going to be joining me on the call for that. So I've never called a volleyball game, and I don't know what it's going to be like. So it may be ugly. You might want to tune in for it. Officials timeout. Looks like they're going to try to measure it.
Let's take a measurement.
Shady Skeletons will be the one. Sorry. When he's saying volleyball, that's a mess.
Let's take a look at what's coming up next for these two teams. Miller next week is going to be in Diamond again on a Thursday night. We'll be out there in out near Joplin, and before we go back, they did give them the first down there. They return again home the following week against Ash Grove.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. Give him the first down, and 1st and 10. Haig is going to keep it again, going to the other side, and going to be brought down, and another flag is thrown. It looks like in the area where you would usually see a hold. And that is, in fact, what it's going to be. Down to 7 seconds remaining in this third quarter of play. And looks like and they may try to run one more play, but they're not going to get it off. Oh, and they were going for it too, but they're not going to get it off. Into the third quarter, Burlington leads Miller by 12, 26-14. We'll step aside. We'll be back to bring you the fourth. We are back here. Haig gets things underway in the fourth quarter with a gain of 2. He's up to 81 yards. 2nd and 19 for the Wildcats, and Haig's going to keep it going to the outside once again. This one he's going to pick up a little more than just 2. And the Cardinals are dying for a turnover here. Bring up 3rd and 11, gain of 9. Third and 11. And this is going to go to Anderson going to the outside, and it's going to be dropped there by Walters. Good to see Walters back in the game. That was a scary moment. Him and a Burlington defender kind of crossed paths in kind of an awkward way, and it kind of looked like he was out there for a minute. And this time it's a Burlington Wildcat that's down. Number 5, Brody Anderson. And this looks like he's grabbing that ankle, maybe a little higher up on the knee. But Anderson broke his ankle last year, and we talked with Coach Carlson, and he was saying that they had thought it was just a high ankle sprain, and so they had him out running fly routes, in next week's game, and then turned out he was running fly routes on a broken ankle. That's going to bring up a 4th and 9. This is a big moment in the game here. Oh, and Anderson was walking off, and now he's stopped up again. And Carlson just picked him up and just going to walk him over himself. I mean, Anderson, he's not a huge guy, 5'10", 145, but still not something you expect out of your head coach. Especially to do it so easily looking. 4th and 9. Cardinals defense needs to stop here. And it looks like it's going to be an empty backfield look. And the Cardinals are going to jump on the motion.
Encroachment against the Cardinals. It's 4th
And that is,
4th and 5.
there's a lot of things you could go for if you're the Miller Cardinals there. That is not one of them. That's going to bring it down from a 4th and 9 to a 4th and 4. And this Burlington team has proven that they can run for 4 yards almost at will, seemingly. But I'd be ready for a keeper going to the outside by Haig. And they're going to run that little speed option again. And Haig's going to try to get to the outside. And he's going to get there. And he dives. He's going to get there enough for the first down.
They're going to carry around the left side. Does not get the first.
No, you're going to say he was dropped short. He was, Haig reached the ball out. It looked like he was reaching for the goal line. Turned out he was reaching for the first down line, but that's going to be a turnover on downs. You gain about 3 3/4 when you needed a whole 4. Does not get it, and the Cardinals back with the ball on the 4-yard line. Calvin with the carries. Gonna cut up. Goes nowhere, though. And now he comes out, but it looked like the Cardinals had a mismatch on the outside. Burlington had Caleb Burke in there, a 5'6" freshman, but decided that they were going to run the ball, and I believe Caden Calvin is down now for the Cardinals. And we'll step aside. 9 minutes and 57 seconds left as the medical crews tend to Caden Calvin. Calvin's limping off the field. Looks like he's a little dazed there. He was taken out of last week's game with after a big hit on the sideline. 2nd and 9 for the Cardinals. Nate Hill's gonna look deep. He's still searching. He's gonna throw it and intercepted. Shades of what happened last week, almost from the exact same spot. Eli Irvin jumps the route. The throw was not quite on target. It was thrown short, and Hill is picked off once again. I'm telling you, that's the same situation that happened a week ago. And Hill was trying to find somebody deep and was running around the end zone. Could not find anybody. Tried to go over the defender, but did not quite have the arm strength on it. And that's going to give the ball back to Burlington on the 29-yard line. What a killer. Haig is going to take the ball, and a big hit there by Owen Dempster. Oh, no, Yeah, that was Owen Dempster. There's 22 and 32 that jumped up
That was a good hit.
right there together, and it didn't take much thinking to realize that was most definitely Dempster and not Trenton Pierce. 2nd and 5 after the carry on Haig. And hand off to Matz. No, to Turner. He gained a 4.
3 yards, 3rd down and 2.
Third and 2. Cardinals defense looking for another stop. This one, Turner once again. Cardinals may force another 4th down here. It's like a minimum gain. We'll call it 1, but I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
Turner's in on the carry. Doesn't get the first down. He is moved by a small penalty.
Connor Pendleton right there. Fourth and 1 from the 20-yard line. Time ticking down, not the friend of the Miller Cardinals. And I think if there's going to be any hope for a comeback, this one, we got to get a stop right here. And it looks like timeout's going to be called by Burlington. They're going to talk this one over. Coach Carlson realizes how big of a play this is. And we'll step aside as we creep down at the end of this Thursday night football game. We'll be right back, live from Miller, Missouri. Big 4th and 1 here coming up here for the Burlington Wildcats. 7:33 remaining. 4th and 1 from the 20-yard line. Got a split backfield here. Hagg's going to run to the outside, and he's going to get the first and more. And that one may have been the backbreaker for the Miller.
Edge picked up the first down for the Cats.
Going to be a gain of
Taking down about the 14-yard line.
6. That puts Haig over 100 yards on the ground, 104 to be exact. 158 yards through the air. He's had a tremendous game. He's missed on he's been fairly solid on his passing. 8 for 12. Turner with the carry.
Mason on the carry picks up 1 yard. Pendleton on the tackle.
Be a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Don't go anywhere after the game. We're going to have a post-game interview with, it looks like it's going to be Coach Carlson from Burlington and quarterback Chance Haig. And this one just is going to come down to just a game of missed opportunities for the Cardinals. as I didn't see who took that one. Looks like Hegg once again.
Hang on the carry, picks up 4 yards.
I mean, a gain of 4. That's going to bring us to our 6-minute timeout. We'll step aside as we get ready to wrap things up here from Miller. Welcome back to Miller. 5:59 remaining in this one. 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. And Hegg is going to go up the middle. It looks like he's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. Gain of probably about 2. And that's what the scoreboard is going to go with. So that's what I'm going to go with. If Miller's going to have any fight puncher's chance, they got to get a stop here. Gets the ball back with 5 minutes left. Hegg's going to go to the outside, and he's going to be hit hard several times, but I think he's going to make it past the line to gain. That one's going to essentially wrap this one up. Bring up a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
Chance.
Yep.
Chance is his name.
Yep. It looks like post-game interview is going to be with Chance Hegg and Cody Carlson. And Hegg is going to bully his way into the end zone, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game.
2nd down.
Man, my depth perception is still way off. Be just short of the goal line on the 1. Clock approaching 4 minutes left. And I bet a quarterback sneak is coming here. May not be a great football mind, but I know a quarterback sneak coming when I see one. And he's going to get that one in. Another touchdown for Hegg now. That's his 3rd, 119 yards on the ground. And this Burlington attack is approaching 350 total yards for the game. And the extra point is good.
One after is good. Burlington and Miller 14.
We're going to step aside one final time as we're down under 4 minutes remaining in this one. We are back here in Miller as we get ready to wrap this one up. Kick is going to go deep here, but it's going to bounce out of bounds. Second time Burlington kick has done that. Going to bring that one up to the 45-yard line. The start. Or a 35-yard line. Updating the Buffalo-Miami game. Field goal by the Bills put them up 10-0 as a pass is going to go down to Owen Weiss. He's going to put a nice stiff arm on Haig. Can pick up 9 there. Nice reception there by Weiss, who's had a quiet night. Had a couple of solid punts. Hill's looking to go back to the air, and Madsen's going to have another one go through his hands. A tough night for Madsen. Has a couple drops here after leading the team in receptions in every statistical category through the first 2 games. Hill with the ball, 3rd and 1, going to hand it off to Dempster. And Dempster's going to make a guy miss up the middle, and he's going to go down for enough for a first down. That's going to be a gain of 10. And more importantly, a first down for the Miller Cardinals. First and 10 from the 45-yard line. You can go back to Dempster. This time, not going to have as much going. It's going to be brought down at the 1 or after a gain of 1. Maybe game of 2. And after the big hit, we haven't seen Calvin back in. I would assume his night's done. He had a tremendous game on the ground. Nate Hill, he had Walters deep, missed him. They're going to throw it deep and be broken up. Hill had Walters open across in the seam. No one was even close to him. And the rush got to Hill and did not see him. I know Walters was frustrated throwing his hands up because he knew he was going to waltz in for 6. Third and 8 from the 43-yard line. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this Thursday night football game. Hill's going to throw on the run again. This one to Weiss, and Weiss is going to make a tremendous catch. What a catch from Owen Weiss. Had the defender, that was Eli Irvin, had no clue where he was at. And that's going to be a big gain of about 36. Tremendous. And I'm telling you, Owen Weiss had made some tremendous strides. From last year as a sophomore to this year, he has made he started using his athleticism and, catching the ball, and he has been a weapon. And a touchdown, Cardinals. Nate Hill finds his longtime receiver, Jared Lung, for a 12-yard touchdown reception. With 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in this game, it might be too little too late, but, we talked last week, just trying to find something to build off of, before the game ends. And this is definitely something that they can build off of. And the extra point is no good.
Point after is no good. Miller swinging.
And
Burlington, 33.
we'll step aside. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in Miller. Welcome back to Miller. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in this ball game. Miller trails 33-20. I would expect an onside kick right here by Lung and a little pooch, and they're going to try. And the ball's on the ground again, still going around. And it's going to be recovered by Burlington. And that's the third time Miller nearly got just a momentum shifting bounce on the kick game. They had found a weakness in their kick return, and they have tried to exploit it on several occasions here, but just unable to end up getting it. So it is Burlington's ball with 2 minutes left to grind out the clock here. Timeout Burlington. We'll step aside and we'll be right back here in Miller. We are back here in Miller, and ball carried by Motts. Solid run there by the running back. And gain of 5. Timeout's going to be called by Miller. Try to preserve as much time as possible. Thank you. I appreciate it. Minute 47 remaining. And run there by Looks like Mounts again. Bring him close to the first down. We're going to call it a gain of 3. And Cardinals are going to take another timeout here. One minute and 39 seconds remaining. Be a 3rd and 1. And this has got to be a tough road trip for Burlington, but it's going to be a little bit sweeter being able to go back to Kansas with a win. Not going to be getting out of here until probably close to 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and then having a 3-hour drive back to Burlington, just outside of Emporia and Topeka. As Haig is going to carry the ball for 3 yards, and that's going to be enough for a first down. And that will wrap things up. I assume we'll see a couple of knees, and we'll get on with our post game. And Haig, in fact, does take a knee. We're down under 1 minute remaining. Bring up 2nd and 10, and good win there from Burlington. Came in and Miller gave them their best shot, and had them on the ropes there for a minute, but just a few plays just did not go the Cardinals' way. And that's going to be the difference in this game. And that knee is going to do it. That is your ball game. And the Burlington Wildcats are going to win this one 33-20. So we're going to have Burlington head coach Cody Carlson up for a interview after here in just a few. But until they get up here, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, as this one we are wrapping things up here in Miller. We are here now with the coach of